Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. All right, we've got Dom here, Trader View 2, posting this. Over the last 24 hours, the majors saw one of the largest long liquidations all year. If you guys didn't catch the video I did yesterday, I talked in more depth about what happened over the last couple of days. We did see a big flush. I'll link that video up here. Nearly 80% of them came from Bybit. So this is interesting. This proves that there was a lot more leverage in the system than ideal. The reaction after these events usually deem pretty important. So now what are we seeing, guys, in the aftermath? The market always hurts these players, and the broad market is much more clear. Now for a new potential leg up, especially when taking structure into account. If this was a large flush before higher, we should expect that strength to show up sometime soon. So what he is saying is, guys, we saw this while the market was still in a downturn. And so, so we see this flush before that push to the upside, before that liquidity comes into the space. Which means, guys, it's very, very likely that the powers that be are setting the stage for a big push to the upside. Even Raoul Pal here saying same thing happens all the time. The crypto market is focused on a big breakout, gets levered long ahead of it. It fails at first attempt, so everyone gets liquidated. Only then does the actual breakout occur, leaving everyone sidelined. So, I hope you guys are ready. If you do have money on the side, this is probably, the last opportunity for you to get into some valuable cryptocurrencies at good prices. Of course, that's not financial advice, but if you guys want to see what I'm doing, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Still only $5 a month. You got to subscribe and stay subscribed. This is where I talk about market structure, what I think the future is for the market in the short, medium, and long terms. So check it out all over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. So what we've got now, guys, is Bitcoin just kind of meandering in this supply zone that it is creating here after yesterday's push to the downside. As you guys can see, Bitcoin has been trying to push up here. We've been seeing a lot of buyers buying at this level at 112,700, give or take. Currently, one Bitcoin is going for roughly 112.9. So after that big push to the downside, we have seen the bleeding stop. That was the 1 hour. Now I've got this on the daily chart. And so what do we see here, guys? We see that reversal candlestick with the long wick, short body, at least so far. Hopefully this does mean that we are going to reverse to the upside and not form a lower low. If we got back down below $107,000, that wouldn't be good. I gotta say, that would not be good. But, according to some of the pundits like Raoul Pal, saying that this is a normal flush. And on this first attempt, everybody gets liquidated only for later for the actual breakout to occur. Remember, guys, this only went down about just over 5%, not even 5.5%. And now we're down only about 4.25%. So that is positive news. We have fear and greed, though, down a little bit more, down to 40. So we're still in neutral, but we're now at the back end of neutral. Even though the market is up by a little bit, it's still under $4 trillion. More green today than there was yesterday. But, a lot of these cryptocurrencies, they're just kind of struggling. They're just kind of trying to find their place in the current market. But guys, again, this is short-term pain. Look at what's happening with Binance, okay? This one coming from Religion, the trader. Binance is heavily stacking stablecoins right after the market got wiped out. Is this a coincidence, or do they know something? So this is a good sign. I think this is a pretty good sign, a pretty accurate sign that Binance is, while they're stacking stablecoins and plans to buy up more cryptocurrency. And so, it's interesting to see these back-end metrics and, kind of a surmise, give our educated guesses as to what these exchanges have up their sleeve. So that's an interesting metric too. The last time Bitcoin's 90 realized volume was this low was the end of 2016. And guys, everybody, well, maybe not everybody, depending on how new you are in the space, everyone remembers 2017. I mean, even if you guys weren't here, I have talked a lot about 2017 and what happened with Bitcoin at that time. So, if what he's saying here, Jeff Park was saying last time Bitcoin's 90 realized volume was this low was at the end of 2016. So we don't have a lot of volume for Bitcoin on chain. 2016 was in and around here, and we know what happened at the end of 2016 into 2017. That was a big euphoric push to the upside. So this was the end of 2016 right in here. We saw that, actually, check this out. If I zoom in here, you guys can see to what happened at the end of 2016. So this would be coming into the beginning of 2017, and then we saw a flush. Look at that. Look at that. We saw the flush right in here. Boom, right in there. And that was like the first week of 2017. And then Bitcoin just rallied to new highs. 2017 was a great year for Bitcoin. From the bottom there, it went over 2,500%. So another interesting thing to note here, Bitcoin's still looking to move to the upside. Once you start to understand market dynamics, you can stop praying for your bags to rocket. This coming from Stock Money Lizards. Because that's the thing, right? You buy fear, you sell greed. That is what you're supposed to do. You down cost average into oversold positions. This is all, crypto 101 or, investing 101, really. You recognize trend reversals. You have the patience to both scale in and out of positions. And most importantly, guys, you learn not to participate in the markets most of the time. Most of the time is just watching and waiting. And so, again, over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, this is where I have outlined my entire strategy. And I just gave my Patreon subscribers an updated list of all the posts that I made from when I started the Patreon of all the trade-related stuff. So it's all there in one place, and I'm going to be updating that regularly. Stock Money Lizards goes on to say, once you omit the market buy sell button and replace it with limits, you will also learn that your life improves. You make more money with 50 trades at 20% plus rather than waiting for your bag to do 100x. It isn't financial advice, but it isn't bad advice. I'm going to be taking the Patreon into an interesting direction in the coming months. So again, for those of you guys who are not subscribed, and that's something you're interested in, you know where to find me. In the United States, U.S. lawmakers are urging the SEC to implement Trump's executive order to allow Americans to invest crypto and Bitcoin into their 401ks. So this was just dropped yesterday on the 22nd of September, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, democratizing access to alternative assets for 401ks. I guess it does not say cryptocurrency specifically there, but this is what the Trump administration wants for all Americans. I mean, there's been a lot of innovation. Now, guys, there is another product coming from Midas called MXRP, and I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this. Crypto Eddie just did an interview with a couple of guys there that are spearheading the project. I'm going to play you guys a little clip of this great interview by Crypto Eddie. Listen to this.
So we're working together to launch what we call MXRP, which is the first liquid yield token on the XRPL ecosystem. Right, and that's why the timing to launch this is now, because we have the infrastructure with Midas, we have the XRPL EVM, which brings smart contracts to the XRPL, and we also have interoperability through Axelar, right? So this wasn't possible until a month ago. I think it's important to highlight that the XRP itself is not going to be actively traded, right? So it's effectively in a way locked in a vault, right? It doesn't move. It goes out of the circulating supply, right? So it's not going to be sold. So this product becomes what we call a perpetual buyer of XRP, locks funds, and uses the proceeds to buy even more XRP over time.
So you can see every transaction that is happening on chain, and we provide full transparency on that account. So when you go on our website, you can simply see this is our front end here, and there's a transparency section right in the top of the navigation bar. And for each token that Midas issues, you can see a full transparency page.
Right. So the idea is not just to create a new source of yield and have people, deposit only in the protocol and then try to compete with other protocols, but MXRP asset managers will be able to also contribute to other protocols and bring the yield back to the users. Right. So if there's good yield for F assets, you can deposit some of the MXRP collateral there, earn the yield from the F assets, and just give it back to the MXRP holders.
Yeah, that's a pretty beautiful combination, I think, for the ecosystem.
What we aim to do with this is get this to $10 billion in AUM by the middle of next year. There's no other yield source for XRP. There's no protocol yield, so that's perfectly attainable. Lido is at 40 billion. EtherFi is at like 12, 13 billion, same as Ethena. There's no reason why the XRPL DeFi ecosystem cannot have the same thing, right? So I think it just helps tell the story.
I think one of the key messages is the point, actually, this is a perpetual buyer of XRP. If you generate returns denominated in XRP, you're effectively acquiring more XRP, and you create constant buying pressure. So it's actually very complementary to the ecosystem, and certainly something in the entire ecosystem's interest. So if you generate return on dollar, acquire more XRP, you become a perpetual buyer, and it's a fantastic case.
So perpetuating the buying pressure, there's a lot of interesting things that I wanted to touch on there. Perpetuating buying pressure for XRP, leveraging XRP, collateralizing it, and lending it out. Earning yield, guys, up to 8%. Eleanor Turret also mentioning this in her Crypto America blog post. New liquid staking token lets XRP holders earn up to 8%. So again, this is with regards to MXRP being marketed as the first DeFi product of its kind on the XRP ledger. So guys, this is big news. It was unveiled in XRP El Sol 2025. MXRP is being marketed as the first DeFi product of its kind on the XRP ledger, built by tokenization platform Midas and Interop Labs on the XRPL EVM. Via Axelar, it lets users deposit XRP and mint a token that targets 6 to 8% APY, earning yield through a mix of on-chain and off-chain strategies managed by a third-party asset manager. So this is going to also give yield to your XRP. When they say, holding your XRP is going to be valuable for the future, this is partially why part of my strategy is to hold a bag of XRP. I mean, that is the goal right now. Axelar is the gateway to on-chain finance. We saw Georgios in that last interview, co-founder of the Axelar protocol and director at Axelar Foundation. By connecting the XRP ledger to the world of DeFi for the first time, we are enabling compelling use cases, including tokenization and trading integrations. I just also wanted to mention back to this interview here when you heard him talk about the ecosystem getting up to 10 billion by the middle of next year. So they have lofty goals, but they say there isn't too much competition right now, so it is very doable. MXRP can be plugged into existing DeFi platforms, letting users earn yield through strategies like market making and liquidity provision. So guys, your XRP is going to be valuable. People, institutions and investors, I'm assuming, are going to want to get their hands on your XRP. And so this is why it is looking very lucrative, 6 to 8% yield for you to lend out your XRP. Much of the XRP supply has been dormant for years. MXRP provides a transparent mechanisms for users to access on-chain strategies. So these are all quotes from that interview. Axelar Network even came out with a bit of a summary on how this works. So this is connected through the Axelar Network, a liquid staked yield-bearing XRP token on the XRP ledger issued by Midas RWA under EU provisions. So it is fully regulated, of course. Delta neutral strategies deployed by trusted asset managers. So Delta neutral, it evolves with market conditions to offer strong risk-adjusted XRP yield, fully composable with DeFi, and they're targeting 10%. Ethereum provided the blueprint. So liquid staking tokens like ST-ETH transformed Ethereum into the backbone of DeFi. They powered lending, trading, and new stablecoins, unlocking billions in fresh liquidity. And now, guys, they're looking to do the same on the XRP ledger. The problem we're solving, XRP has distribution, but no native yield and low utilization. Most of XRP's 180 billion plus market cap sits idle, and they want to change that. Existing yield options don't scale, lack sustainability, APY are not composable with DeFi, and MXRP will be liquid and scalable and durable XRP denominated yield, targeting up to 10%. Thanks to its unique design, MXRP will become a superset of all XRP yield products, and because it leverages trusted asset managers who deploy delta neutral strategies, it aims to be the benchmark for APY for the XRPL ecosystem. So who's behind it? We talked a little bit about Axelar, Midas, two strong teams in on-chain finance. Today, there are two easy options to start earning yield with MXRP. Option 1, swap on XRPL mainnet. So you can swap XRP for MXRP directly through Ondo Finance. So that's another company that has been working on this. XP Markets or Strobe Finance with support from other XRPL DeFi apps coming soon. And then option 2, you can bridge XRP to the XRPL EVM via this other company here, Squid Router, deposit on Midas RWA and mint to MXRP. So there are definitely different options there for you guys if that is something you're interested in. Chad Steingraber also just commenting the Ripple documentation explains how Axelar works with the Ethereum EVM and wrapped functions. MXRP is the wrapped version of a locked up XRP onto other chains. So some more documentation here just from Axelar, from the Axelar network, just describing how this is going to work. And Panos, guys, giving us a bit more of a detailed example here. So there are many questions surrounding MXRP, and I have gathered the 10 most common ones and created an FAQ. So I think we know what MXRP is now. Where can I buy it? You can either go directly to the platform Midas.app, but it has limitations on jurisdiction, or you can go through the decentralized Anodos Finance exchange to access it directly from the XRP ledger. So where does the yield come from? From various strategies, including lending, market making, depositing on DeFi protocols. We kind of covered that a little bit. The asset managers first lock XRP and borrow it against stablecoins, and then they use the stablecoin capital for different strategies to make money. How do I claim yield or redeem for XRP? All you need to hold is MXRP. Something to clarify is that you don't receive extra tokens. The yield and rewards are automatically added and embedded into MXRP's value. So that's interesting. You're not going to actually receive any more tokens. So the way it works is that in 1 year from now, selling 100 XRP, you should get 110 XRP if the 10% API is maintained. So that is how they're going to do it there. So the profit is realized once swapped back to XRP via redeemed value. So it's basically the infinite money glitch that we were talking about yesterday. As more and more yield is generated, MXRP's price should continuously grow against XRP, making it more and more expensive and giving you more and more XRP over time when you swap it back. There is also an option to provide liquidity onto XRP and MXRP pool for extra yield. Is it risk-free? Nothing in life is risk-free. So for those of you guys wondering that, MXRP is no exception. Everything involves risk, either high or low. There's always a chance of smart contract bugs, platform issues or market swings messing things up. But this is launched by industry leaders like Axelar and Midas RWA, which are also audited and regulated. So, so far this seems like the best option if you guys are interested in receiving yield from holding your XRP. Of course, this is not a paid promotion. I'm just I'm assuming this just based on what I'm reading and what I'm understanding from it. Do I have to give up my XRP? So MXRP works in a similar way to other liquid staking tokens like these other ones that he names here, which means that if you want to get the yield from these tokens, you have to buy the asset and hold it. Either that's by selling XRP or adding new capital to buy MXRP. Is this good for XRP, guys? Will it add buying or selling pressure? As mentioned by Axelar and Midas, the goal is to become a perpetual buyer of XRP. So this is what they're looking to do. Every XRP used to mint MXRP is locked, meaning that it's taken out of circulation. And with the extra yield generated, more XRP is bought, adding constant buying pressure. So that is a big deal. He gives you a bit of a synopsis on how Anodos Finance does work with this. It's one of the main partners, as you guys can see here. And I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. MXRP and FXRP are a bit different. So what is the difference? I know some people were wondering about that, but ultimately both good for XRP and the XRP ledger. MXRP is a yield-bearing token that is available directly on the XRPL and backed one-to-one by XRP. It has some centralized elements, and the capital is managed by asset managers, but easily accessible. FXRP, on the other hand, is a trustless version of XRP on the Flare network backed by collateralized or over-collateralized by FLR, stablecoins, and XRP, but it doesn't inherently generate yield like MXRP. FXRP is used primarily on Flare and deploying it by yourself into different DeFi protocols and strategies to generate yield, while MXRP is not trustless but does all the heavy lifting for you in case you just want to buy and hold. Now, here's an interesting question. Should I jump in with all my XRP? As with any asset, guys, never put everything into one basket. And this is coming from Panos from Anodos. First, understand how it works, what the risks are, and what amount you feel comfortable investing with and holding. I know it might seem very lucrative to just dump all your XRP and gain 10% on everything, but guys, this does not come without risk. I wanted to thank everyone involved, Panos here, Chad Steingraber, the Axelar Network, Eleanor Turret, Crypto Eddie, the gentleman from the Axelar Network as well. Of course, Bank XRP, Stock Money Lizards, Jeff Park, Merligion the Trader, Raul Pal, and of course, Dom, Trader View 2. So are you guys ready to jump all in with your XRP? Again, not financial advice. For more information on how I'm treating this bull run, because, I still think it's a little early. I don't know if I'm going to lock up my XRP. That might be an option a few months from now. But if you guys want to see what I'm doing for this particular bull run, moment to moment, how I'm treating my price targets, follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Guys, I also have the Working Money Channel merch store. That is up and running. You can find that in the description of every video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.